Well, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of Man. You hear that, Leonard?
You gonna growl at the people today?
Oh, man, look here. I'll tell you what, Leonard. Man, I'm still high and a happy elephant lady and porcupine proud, brother. Um, the TMT yesterday, man. The TMT, the town hall meeting, Leonard. The
Go ahead.
town hall meeting yesterday. You were there, brother.
Yes, indeed.
Man, look here. I want to thank. I want to thank right now. What I want to do is thank everybody publicly, man, for taking their time, man, and coming out. They didn't have to come out, man. They didn't have to participate. They came out, man, and I think they did a very good job, man. The conversation, man, was I think was excellent. The conversation was excellent, man, and the people putting on the conversation and everybody in the audience. Leonard, you got up there, brother, and you asked him some questions. You shook him up a little bit, brother.
Hey, man, I believe in being surgical about a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You ask the questions
Mm-hmm.
that lead to the answers. You know, a lot of people,
Exactly.
one of the hardest things about those types of meetings is
Mm-hmm.
you want to share information with people and you want to hear people's story,
Yeah.
but it should
Mhm.
lead down the road to action,
Mm-hmm.
not just testimony service.
Exactly.
It has to be, with a point. And it was good because you stimulated a lot of people's minds. Some people would ask questions that other people wouldn't even think of from other different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to be problem solvers, the key is the proper assessment of the situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you can throw everything at it, but if it ain't the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't going to work, bro.
Look, it ain't gonna work. It ain't.
Ain't going to work.
You look at we can and Pastor Bats last night. He said some. What did he say? Fixing a record or something like that. He said, man. I was like, okay, we getting real down deep in the country now. We getting real down deep in the country, man, because
Yeah. Make life.
yeah, there you go.
See, that's one of my words right there. Make life.
He said, we're gonna make like it ain't there. I said, oh Lord. I said, oh, we real now. It's getting real now. And so, man, and like I said, everybody brought something very unique to the table, man. We had a different perspectives,
Yes.
and I think it was very important because Pastor Bats, he's already also being a pastor. He's also a mortician, and so
Yes.
he's in a situation where he have to bury a lot of the people, man.
Beautiful brother, man. He got
Yes.
a beautiful spirit, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he has that beautiful baritone.
Yeah, he got that Barry White thing going on. Good morning.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but he has that sound,
Mm-hmm. And so, man, I really enjoy. And Anna, right now,
Hey,
what
Anna.
Good
we're
morning,
talking about,
everyone.
good morning, good morning. What we're talking
Blair
about right
from the
Now
Vancouver.
you look like you graduated from high school this weekend.
now, she 29 and a half. She's 29 and a half. She's 29 and a half. That's all it is. 29 and a half. But Anna, what we're talking about right now, we're talking about the town hall meeting yesterday. We're talking about the
Mhm.
town hall meeting let people that wasn't able to get there, and people can still they can actually still go to on the website and they can actually see it there. Well,
That's
they
right. That's right.
Yeah, they go to
Yeah.
DKM. And I know the radio for Facebook. What is it? Radio DKM 1.1. What is it?
1.1, yes. And I did send out the link as I was not send out the link. I did make a few calls on my way home. And I had to leave early because of the storms. I thought I was, and I wear bifocals, so I
Oh
needed
yeah.
to make sure I was
Mhm.
safe. Okay, so I'm just transparent, just letting y'all know. That's why I didn't want to have any danger. Which fortunately, I guess it was in Gwinnett, because as I
Yeah.
got closer, well, we won't say where in Georgia I live, but as I got closer home, it was like sunny as can be.
Yeah.
Mm.
At my side too.
So
Yeah.
I was like, why left for nothing?
No. You left because you had to go through that storm in order to get there. You had to go through that storm now. You had to go through the storm
It
in
was
order to
only on your side of town, though.
see. That's what it was. That's what TMT struck up a storm yesterday.
Yes, it's very true. I also wanted to say something real quick because that's very important, and it kind of connects with what TMT was about. As everybody knows, Puerto Ricans were mistreated a lot in the 50s, 60s, but we still are. And yesterday was the Great Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is celebrated in celebration of that and all Puerto Ricans who are here mainland. And I hate that I missed the parade, but I'm sure there'll be ways you could see it again. But I love all my fellows Puerto Ricans. Continue doing your fight and continue doing what you do. And please, if there's any Puerto Ricans that listen to, I'm sure there are, because I'm sure I got followers that are that link into it. And you're in the state of Georgia, even if you'd just like to do a Zoom in meeting or, go in via Facebook or however it is that Raheen is doing it, please get involved with this because it's something that we're doing to save lives. There was a lot of police brutality, and if people have seen the link that I put back, I believe it was in the 60s, what's going on right now, Puerto Ricans did in New York, because a little girl was ran over by a horse, by a police officer, and a guy was killed by the police. So same scenario that's in the 60s. Puerto Ricans weren't having it up there in New York, and it started riots nationwide, especially in New York, because that's where most Puerto Ricans would move to back then. So just it's something that we as brothers and sisters, brown and black, let's unite. I seen a beautiful post that they were actually doing those African dances, and I shared it. I don't know who missed it or who saw it. They were doing the African dances, backing up Black Lives Matter. So kudos to my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. Hey, sweetheart, who have been backing this cause up. And Raheen, once again, Cassandra did great. That panel was outstanding.
Yes.
I love each of them, love each of you very much. And I just wanted to say that because yesterday was something that signifies a lot to my culture yesterday as well. So
good deal. And I'm still, like I told Leonard earlier, I'm still getting calls and texts and all kind of things like that. People telling me how much they enjoyed it, man, and that's good, and I'm glad of that. I'm very appreciative of that. But my thing is, like Leonard and I was talking about, is one thing to appreciate it, but we have to continue.
Absolutely,
we have to. There's so much work to do. And our topic. Good morning, Christy. And our topic this morning.
Oh, you took her out.
I know, right? And our topic this morning is the storm isn't over. The storm isn't over. Because a few days we've been they've been protesting, they've been marching, and all these different things that's been going on. But here in Atlanta, there's another police shooting. I think it was Friday. And they say that he was this and he was that, or he was drunk and blah. The man was asleep in the drive-thru. What crime, Leonard? Now, Leonard, I'm coming to you with this, Leonard, because you know better than I do. But please explain to me, what crime is it to go to sleep in your car?
Well, I hope it don't become a crime, or I'm soon to be put in jail.
Yes, sir. And see, that's my thing.
As hard as I've worked and had no, choice because you couldn't go home. Is sleep in my car. Oh man, I slept like I was just sleeping in my car last week.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I've often, I sleep in my car so much. And I always think about, man, I hope nobody don't come messing with me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of my thoughts. And so when this stuff happened, I was like, okay, you see what happened. You see why it happened. The rule needs to stop that from happening. If police aren't intelligent enough to make the decision, you have to make it for them. And you make it part of your procedures. And then it won't happen. This is why things are, you have to remember, I tell people, and I mentioned it in the meeting, this is why these things are happening. Because they're allowed to.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
They absolutely would not happen if they were not allowed.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something. We had a great meeting yesterday. To God be the glory. It was a real good meeting. But what I wish, and I should have done something. I should have put my record on or something. But the meeting that Leonard and them had after the meeting, After everybody had gone and they stayed, while I was breaking down everything, they sit around and they talked for a minute. If y'all could have heard that meeting too, if y'all could have heard, I wish I could have recorded, because they were saying some things that about what's going on and how it's going on and how everything is transpiring. Leonard, that was a meeting, that was a town hall within itself.
I assume well, and it would have been a town hall to talk about the real purpose of protesting and how it should be done and for what purpose.
Yeah.
I love my young people, but right now we're dealing with chaos and frustration.
Come on.
Nothing will grow. Nothing will happen until that stops. It's good to see the movement. So much respect for Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Yes, absolutely.
Y'all have to support her in Atlanta because there are people who do not believe that police officers should be chastised. And that is just point blank. You can. I had to go off on somebody else last night on Facebook.
Leonard, I'm gonna ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you this question real quickly before we move past this part right here. And I'm gonna try it again. Good morning, Christy.
Good morning, guys. I'm so sorry. I thought my phone was. I was on my phone, so I thought it was charged, and it died on me. So I said, "Uh-oh, let me go get the computer."
The smile gets you forgiveness already.
Yeah, exactly. But let me ask you this question. And it's piggybacking off what you just said a second ago. You said a lot of people think that they get a pass and for whatever reason. Do you think that has something to do with and we're not gonna go too deep because I don't know. But do you think that has something to do with the chief retiring or just quitting?
Well, no chief is going to retire unless they put in work. She hasn't been there that long. She was asked nicely.
Oh, so the word I got that she resigned. So she didn't. She was she didn't voluntarily resign. Is what I'm saying.
Well, she should be able to leave how she would like with a little self-respect.
Okay.
That's the civil way that's the civil way to do things.
Okay.
If you can't handle leadership, you must resign. And I think that is the message. That's the message that I carry. I'm not trying to hear, I couldn't, it's complicated, it's this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, you just can't do that job. I'm sorry, I don't. People say, well, police make mistakes, where they're going to have to make a lot less of them, and they are going to have to be held to a higher level of scrutiny about that because you have a badge and a gun. Simple people need no longer be hired in law enforcement.
Was she ready for? And this is all speculation. This is all personal opinion. And I'm gonna move on to the young ladies because I want to hear the input as well. But Leonard, when she got that position, do you think she was ready? Do you think she was ready for that position?
Well, it's not for me to determine whether she was ready or not. That's for the professionals that picked her. Okay. You pick a bad police chief, you're a bad mayor. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna stop right there. Anna, what's on your heart? Because and we got a caller. We're gonna go to the call in just 1 second. Anna, what's on your heart this morning? The storm is not over. There was another killing. There was another police killing Friday here in Atlanta. And in the midst of all the protesting that's been going on, still there was another killing.
Leonard couldn't have expressed that any better, and I continue to say it on my social media account. Kudos to Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. She is doing her job. She is doing her job, and I commend her. I mean, each one of them she has held accountable. You don't see this everywhere. Somebody was telling me yesterday at the meeting that there was 2 people found beat up and hung in California. I didn't know this, and supposedly they're saying they committed suicide. You may have heard of this, Christy, because I know you were on that side of town. I knew nothing about this. I'm like, how does that happen, and why are they covering this up? Supposedly they don't want another riot. Well, they have to be held accountable for what's going on. And that's something that I appreciate with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Now, I don't appreciate all the nonsense that's going on in between, meaning the youth. we need we as parents, we're their youth, the youth's parents, right? The ones about that well, no, not me, I'm a little bit younger, but and with that being said, when you need to teach your children, you can't do this, you can't go out there and act a fool. We ain't gonna get nothing done that way. Now what we are doing, the ones that are doing, such as Leonard, Cassandra, I'm sure that Christy, when she gets back in town, what Raheen is doing, that town hall meeting that was doing, that's making change happen. That's getting people involved who are somebody and who can make that change. And I'm looking forward to continuing to bring these on. I'm looking forward to continuing to share these meetings that we have, and continue getting people involved across the nation, because the more that we have on our team, the better it is going to be. And that panel was amazing yesterday. I will continue to say, if you guys get an opportunity, I know it was airing live, but it's nothing like being there, like actually seeing Leonard stand up and be like, yo, this and this and this. I'm like, that's right, go ahead. Say what you say. But what a lot of them was saying was true. I didn't get around to saying what I wanted to say. I had a few questions, but it's okay. There'll be more town hall meetings. But it really was, long story short, it really was a great meeting. So
good deal. To God be the glory. Christy, what's on your heart? Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
Good morning, my Morning Glow family. How are y'all?
Doing good. Doing
Right.
I just have to say, from the person that was just watching, OMG, great job. Y'all get kudos, great job. I mean, it was excellent day. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was outstanding. The speakers, the ones that got up and asked questions, they were like, yeah, that's my question, that's it. So I really appreciate it more than anything. I love Mr. Lennon for being who he is. He is the same way on here as he was at the town hall meeting. He had his shades on, y'all. He had his mask up to his eyelids.
Spider-Man.
that's what he's supposed to do.
Spider-Man in the building.
He had his mask to his eyelids, and then he had his shades on with it. I was like, go Leonard. That's what I'm talking about. Can't nothing get in there. I was missing was the headphones. I'm telling you.
Look at here. No room for infiltrator. No room for infiltrator.
Corona didn't even have a chance.
Trust me when I tell you, he did not give one person a hug. He was like, what's up?
It was my first time out in such close quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And just to speak on what Anna spoke on, there was a lynching at Palmdale, in California, which I'm in California right now, and I'm not too far from Palmdale. Actually, I'm like 30 minutes away from Lancaster, Palmdale area. And so when it was lynched, he was hung on a tree. And let me tell you something. It's not going to be over. Because when you have a narcissistic behavior or people that are narcissistic, and I'm talking about a group of people, you have that mentality is, I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care who's in office. I don't care who's the mayor. I am going to handle this the way I have. The deep-rooted hate for our people is so strong with these people. And I'm not saying everybody. But I'm not like my grandma used to tell me when she would tell me and I'm a twin sister. If y'all didn't, I have a twin sister and an older sister for those that don't know. And we grew up together. And when my grandmother started fussing, I would say, well, mommy, I ain't do nothing wrong. She's like, then I ain't talking to you. If it don't fit, don't wear it. So for all you people that saying like, well, we're good cops, then we ain't talking to you. We are talking to the ones that are. Quit putting yourself in something that ain't have nothing to do with you. If you're a good cop, continue being a good cop. If you're a bad cop, sit your butt down somewhere, go get some retraining or whatever you need to do. We are talking to the ones that are bad cops, the ones that are doing this type of stuff. So I don't think the storm is over. I know it's not over. No. Because it's going to continue. It's going to continue to happen until we do what the town meeting says. One thing that I got from the town meeting is if you want change, you're gonna have to do it in a balance.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to get the ones that are in office out of office. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to get those police officers. You're gonna have to start, like Mr. Leonard said, start making them have some type of consequences. Just
Mm-hmm.
like at my job,
Accountability.
like at
Absolutely.
accountability and
Mm-hmm.
as well as those that are hiring the police officers, they need to have accountability as well for the hiring process. You know, what is the hiring process? And I mean, I'm quite sure anybody that graduated high school can be a cop. I don't even think you have to graduate high school.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
saw this thing the other day. I don't mean to cut you off, Chris. I saw this thing the other
listen,
day where there was a police officer was harassing a man in his yard. I think I spoke about this last week, and they were coming at him all kind of different ways, and they wanted to know him to identify himself, show his ID. He said, "What for? What crime?" He said, "What did I do?" He went on. He said, "Well, the law says that only way you could come to me and hold me or detain me, because they say no, you're not under arrest, you're being detained." He said, "Well, detained is another word of being arrested." He said,
arrested.
Am I under arrest?" And he was and they was like, "No, you're not under arrest, you're being detained." They trying to play on the words. He said, and then he went to his phone, pulled up the definition of what that was. He said, "Now look here. Now I know your job better than you know your job." He said, "Now this is what it says," and he read it word for word. He said, "This is what it said. This is what that means." He said, "So am I under arrest?" He said, "So am I either under arrest or am I free to go?" And the officer said, "No, you're not free to go." He said, then he turned around, he put his hand behind his back. He said, "So you want to illegally kidnap me? Because that's what you're about to do, illegally kidnap me. If I'm not under arrest, if I'm not, blah blah blah." He went to the whole spiel. And when they finally walked off, they walked off his property, and the two officers went back to their car, and they were standing outside the car. And he had the camera on him, had the phone on him, and he said, "Look, now they're over there trying to conspire, trying to come up with another angle how they could try to come at me." Then they came up and they say, "Look here, no, you free to go." He said, "I ain't going to where I'm at home." He said, "I ain't going to where I'm at home." He said, "You over here bothering me." He said, "As a matter of fact, you get off my property because you trespassing." He said, and he said, and then the officer got to walk away. He said, "But let me tell you something." He said, do you know that to be a cosmetologist, you got to go to school for 2 years?" He said, "Y'all only go to school for what I think he said 3 months, something like that." He said,
If that.
yeah, he said, and y'all become a police officer. He said, "Cosmetology are more trained at what they do than y'all are." Now, see, I'm gonna go to Leonard. Now, if a cosmetologist have to go to school for 2 years to cut and prepare your hair, shouldn't a law enforcement officer have to have a little more training to go out there and carry a gun and a badge?
And see, that's the real issue, because one, you didn't have to be intelligent to be a cop back in the day, because all you was doing was hunting colored people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, all you had to be able to do is walk, talk, carry a gun, and hate Negroes, and you were hired. No education, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Seem like
Just
that's the same.
just a
That's the same.
desire to hunt Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to understand. We have to completely change what's going on. Like someone got into it with me yesterday. "Well, my son's a cop and he's a great cop." Well, I hope that great cop does a great job and gets promoted to captain.
Mm-hmm.
But your whole sentiment behind police lives matter, no, they don't. They don't matter because they have qualified immunity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have qualified immunity. You do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't show up talking about you scared and you fear for your life when you got all the guns, you got the taser, you got the stick, you got the badge, you got backup, you got dogs, you got everything.
Mm-hmm.
With all those tools, you can't manage to make the right decision, which means that you're unfit for the position.
Mm-hmm.
People get me the wrong way. I am not against policing.
Mm-hmm.
I work with sheriffs,
Yeah,
police officers, public relations officers,
the good ones.
people running for law enforcement positions, elected positions.
Mm-hmm.
So I am involved in trying to help law enforcement agencies clean up and get rid of them bad apples. Because I'm going to tell you, pretty soon, I don't like to throw away a piece of fruit. But if I got to cut it all the bad away, you might as well throw it out.
Yeah.
Because that's how bad law enforcement is.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a little bit of that fruit left that we can try and save.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell young people, you have to understand. I understand the frustration, but they don't understand the need. And they do understand the need for law enforcement. We must have law enforcement combined with community policing. This issue is a result of too much power, not enough accountability, and also just bad apples.
Exactly.
So don't come to me and think I'm not gonna get at you when you say police lives matter, white lives matter, everybody's lives matter except for black lives. See what I'm saying? So that's why you got offended. You offended by Black Lives Mattering. I'd chase you all the way back to hell about that.
He says, chase you all the way back to hell. Lord, my Jesus. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, this Flipper?
Mr. Flipper. Good morning, Mr. Flipper. How you doing, sir?
Hey.
I'm all right.
Man, we're talking about the storm isn't over. There was another killing right here in Atlanta, Friday, right here in Atlanta. In the midst of all the protests that we're doing, all the marching and everything that's going on, in the midst of all that, there was another killing of an unarmed, well, they say he was armed. They say he had a deadly weapon, which is not classified as a deadly weapon, that he took from the police officer, the taser.
Wow.
His weapon came.
It's a deadly weapon now. Wow.
Yeah, his weapon came from the police officer.
Wow.
They lie like children, bro. It's so simple-minded. If you have read half the police reports turned in, you would understand why they have to have an editor.
Wow. Mr. Flipper, what's on your heart, brother? The storm is not over. The storm isn't over.
Man, I've seen the video for like 3 different angles, man. It shouldn't even happen like that, man. They just abusing their authority. To me, they ain't nothing but a KKK with a badge, man.
678
to me, man.
678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. Want to hear your opinion. The storm isn't over. The storm isn't over. KKK with the badge. Keep going there, brother. Talk to me, Flipper.
I meant to be honest. I used to, you know, we were kids. Everybody want to be a police officer. Nobody want to do that no more. Because they ain't looking out for us. They used to look out for us at one point. But they don't look out for us no more. They want us out of here.
So when y'all play cops and robbers, you want to be the cop?
Yep. I actually wanted to be a cop when I was little. I did.
Okay. Well,
that was out the window when I started seeing what's going on.
My thing is this right here, brother. We still need you as a cop, brother. If you still have an interest in doing that, we still need you as a cop because we need some good ones. We need some ones that understand.
But like Leonard said, you keep cutting out the bag, you know.
But we still gotta have we still got in the midst of all this going on, especially in this day and time, brother. We need some good ones in there. We need some good ones, and I really feel as though you will be a good one. So you know, if you being 22, 23 years old, brother, you still got a chance. Oh, he ain't saying about being 22, 23. I threw him a compliment because I know that, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that, though. I appreciate it.
Yes,
that's why I didn't say that.
Okay, good.
Good.
Absolutely. Anna, what's on your heart? Anna, what's on your heart? We got a call. We're gonna go to the call in just 1 second. Anna, what's on your heart?
So there's a program called Police Explorers, where as soon as you get into high school, you can start on this program, you know, and they train you, and maybe those are the ones that you guys see as soon as they graduate, you know, or whatever. And they're trained just like any other law enforcement officer, but this is training for 4 years. And I don't think they can go in until they're 21. So usually what they do is they go to Department of Corrections or do other type of jobs like that, and then they go in. One of my children, I won't say their name on air, okay? One of my children was looking into that program. They saw that there was a police killing up north of a few years ago, we'll say like that. They totally dropped out of the program. They said, I cannot work. This is your youth now. I cannot work for people who back up each other and who lie and who actually sit here and kill people. So they are a legal mob. So now you're talking about mafia, legal mob that covers each other. I cannot get a job working for them. And they totally dropped out. I was like, but you know, it's a career that you can have. It's guaranteed money. You know, it's something. They said, no, absolutely not. So the youth is not looking forward to doing that. They don't agree with them. And this is coming from somebody, who is growing up and is close to that age. You know what I'm saying? That age group that can be law enforcement zone. So we've got to find a way to make it right and make, it'll start with people like Keisha Lance Bottoms, police chiefs, and so forth, so on. And they actually love the program. They were actually looking forward to it. And I know they would have done the right thing being a law enforcement officer, but they refuse to do the wrong thing. So they want no involvement with it.
And also, just to let you know, what she was mentioning, that program is a very old program. It's an excellent program. I was in that program. It's still going. It was right there with junior achievement and things like that. And it's a program. It used to have lots of resources. And at that time, I was going into the medical field when I went into the military. And man, the exposure that you get to it is amazing. So we had to fight for programs like Junior Achievement, the Explorer programs, and things like that. And the panel was talking about that. It's this thing where even before you leave high school, some high school have programs where you leave high school certified. Like my son, for instance, was in the FHA program. And I think part of that program is when you graduated from high school, you actually had the certification for landscaping and things like that. So we need to bring those programs and to start help and see. It's almost like for lack of a better word, revolution. Because remember, we got rid of so much. Now we've learned our lesson. You got to put it back. Remember, the people that were about taking it out wanted this situation we have today. They wanted less educated, less decided individuals in the street with no other resource but to engage themselves in criminal activity, no jobs, no pay, leaves you in situations ready for crime. And look where we are 10, 15 years later. Education is so slow to change. And so we have to get younger people involved. I think one of the sentiments from the meeting was we don't have that time anymore. We don't have 4 years for you to decide whether or not a program should be changed. And even during my doctoral work, there's different types of research work you can do, but action research is not usually approved. And what action research is through the research, when there's an issue, you automatically attack that issue. You don't wait till you finish all the work 2 years down the road, then submit it here and submit it there for consideration. Once it's like corporate. You can't go without making money for 3 months. So you have to constantly have performance improvement teams working to make sure that you can survive and that you're providing to the market the best products most efficiently and competitively in that market. That market is the idea because things rapidly change. Law enforcement don't change. They want to do the same thing the same way all the time unless it affects them. All these lies about criminal justice reform has nothing to do with how police officers treat people or anything like that. It's about reducing the cost associated with criminal justice. So if we want to reduce the cost of criminal justice, then we start making changes that reduce our cost.
Come on.
Not that's more humane, not better police. Reducing the cost that cities have to spend on law enforcement is the reason why criminal justice reform happened.
Exactly.
So we have to push the other narrative for great policing.
Exactly. Let me go to the phone line. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Frank. I'm calling from Michigan.
Man, what's wrong with your voice this morning?
Man, I'm all over the freaking place, Raheem. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I mean, it's just my emotions and thoughts and prayers and feelings. It's just a mess. Just a total mess, man. Because I don't know. Let me get to your question. Let me deal with you, whatever it is the topic is.
Well, we're talking about the storm isn't over. The storm isn't over because in the midst of all the police brutality, the police killings and things of that nature that's had happened, all the protesting that's been going on for the last couple of weeks and months, there was another killing here in Atlanta by a police officer of an unarmed black man. And we're talking about we had a beautiful town hall meeting, yesterday, talking about these issues. We had some very prominent people that was here addressing the issues, but still the storm is not over, man. There was they're telling me now that there was a hanging in I think they say Palmdale, California. There was a hanging there again of a young black man. The storm isn't over. So what's on your heart?
Well, I hope we didn't think that racism was going to go away because of what happened over the last month.
Mm-hmm.
I really, if you study history and you've seen what is taking place, there's some people that's just what's in their heart, and it's going to take a lot more than what has happened in the last month. But the only thing that I say, and because I don't want to offend anybody right now, because I don't think it's necessary and I don't think it's productive, but we got to be careful of what we accept, because on the list of things that need to happen, while we have the attention of people, because we do have some people that are truly right now in a place of repentance for the very first time. That the murder was so graphic and so horrific that it truly brought people to a place of repentance. And while we have their ear and their attention, okay, we can get to renaming military bases. We can get to taking down statues. But let's deal with the real issues. Let's go back and let's look at all of these police that were accused of murdering young black men and women, young people of color, black, brown, and let's look at those cases. Let's look at why. Let's look at the prosecutors that let these people go when it was obvious that these police officers should have been prosecuted. If we're going to use any energy, let's use all of our energy now while we have momentum, getting rid of, because that's the only way you're going to rid this cancer in the police department, is you got to get it out of there.
How do you identify it before someone lose their lives? Before someone lose their life, how do you identify it?
How do you identify the person?
Yes, the individual, that the potential individual that could before somebody lose their life, before someone is killed. How do we identify the potential individual that may be ready to fall over the edge, or how do you identify them?
Look at the officers that have committed these crimes, Raheem. Most of them had multiple complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them have had, they have gone, over and over again. There was people that filed charges against them that just went away. Now, this isn't a perfect science, but what's going to happen is, if you really begin to open these cases back up and prosecute these people and have them do jail time, and not only them, their partners,
mm-hmm.
the people that were on the scene, you're going to get rid of that I didn't see anything. You're going to have people that, okay, so now you're about to commit a murder, I'm with you. Now you can't do that, because right now they're taking down everybody. But what we have to do is we have to begin to prosecute these people. We got to stay focused. They have to go to jail, and they have to go to jail in large numbers. That's the only thing that's going to get these police attention.
Okay, Mr. Flipper, I heard someone say that when something like that would have happened, to take away the whole pension, take away all that stuff from them, and send them to jail. Do you think that's a solution? And this is something that will happen after the fact, of course. Mr. Flipper, you there? Mr. Flipper, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Leonard, what do you say to that?
Well, you know, as I said yesterday, it's about one, and I would volunteer my services, of course.
Mm-hmm.
People, you know, have this thing that one, I can tell people my background is there, man. I have degrees in public policy, administration, and education. You have to sit down and do the work. The work is sitting down, going through all personnel records, finding those officers, and holding them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
We should be hunting these people down like the Jews that still have trials. We're familiar with Nuremberg trials. I don't care how long ago it happened.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a person out here walking around enjoying freedom in life, and you stood there and you participated in what happened at Auschwitz, you should go to prison. You violated oaths. Policing is serious.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
one of those people who would pay police more money and everything because I believe they're just that important. But trust me, with that money comes responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot continue leaders and see, this is a leadership problem. These people are doing this because they are being allowed to. The moment you stop that, you stop this problem. So when folks try to say, you know, they're good police, it's not about good police or whatever. If you get too many incidents on your job, guess what? You get fired.
Yes.
You don't get transferred. You don't get to stay. You don't get to sit on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
You get fired.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get benefits. You don't get nothing. You get to go down to the unemployment office.
Mm-hmm.
You
Exactly.
cannot, once you violate this oath, you should never be able to carry a badge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are a known killer. And this is who these people are. They are known killers allowed to carry badges and do what they do. Big shout out to DeKalb County, because DeKalb County is, I think, a little bit more aggressive than most counties when it comes to policing, reprimanding police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they have huge issues with police officers being a part of gangs and everything.
Wow.
Huge problems with contraband and law enforcement participating and selling drugs and everything in the jails. We've had all these issues right here in Georgia. And so people have to understand, that's why it's so important, the integrity of your sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your sheriff has no integrity, I guarantee you the majority of his officers are probably following his lead.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of folks, like you say, try to stay clean as long as possible and stay out of the mess, but that don't fix the problem. You can be a police officer and be great and be sitting next to the guy that killed someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine, a family member of mine, had posted something I didn't agree with, and another one of her friends, who happens to be white, has a son who's a police officer. And so because they were friends, my relative said, go easy on them. They my friend and blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I hope her son doesn't kill your son. I'm going to see how friendly you're going to be. So
That's
if
good.
we get a little bit more proactive at things, we will get change. For instance, Miss Patsy Austin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Gatson. Mm-hmm.
Gatson, who is running for district attorney. She said something very, very important. When I asked her, what are you going to change? She says, I'm going to start using that juvenile report that's come from all schools that come to the district attorney's office as a tool and a diagnostic to reach out to those children to try to change the path that they're on. Instead of using it to build jails and all these other things and hunt them down, let's try to take them off that destructive path. The brother running for sheriff, Curtis Clemens, he says the thing I'm going to change, and you were there, Anna, right? That, and when he said that, I'm getting rid of 287G. This immigrant thing that goes on in these counties, specifically Gwinnett County, where he's running for office at. He's ending. He would end the 287G program, which has to do supposedly only deal with inmates, individuals that are arrested, who may or may not be citizens. But you can't use it to racial profile.
Exactly.
And then use the law. Oh, this is a great program.
Now, Leonard, you know I got to go to somebody else, brother.
Go ahead.
Hold on one second, brother. You on the roll this morning. You on the roll, Christy. What's on your heart?
Man, it's a lot that I want to say. You know, we're focusing on police brutality, which is something we need to focus on. But also, all of it goes on the realm of accountability. There were 4 teachers that took a picture with a noose and was laughing. Out of the 4 teachers, none of them got fired. They got reassigned to different schools. I'm just like, you know, it's so much going on, y'all. You have the immigrants that are in that no one talks about because, you know, it's out the media. What about the children that are immigrants that are coming up missing that cannot be found? And they were, you know, if you place somebody in a camp and they can't get out, nobody can get out, nobody can get in. How are they missing? That doesn't make sense to me. So either they're dead or they're part of the sex trade or something. Somebody's making money off of these kids.
Yes.
So it's accountability is a huge issue because only Black and brown people are held accountable for their actions. And even non-actions, they still are held accountable and want to be put in jail. Just think about what you just said, Mr. Leonard. There's a juvenile profile that has been marked up for our kids. So if you got in trouble, if you went to the detention center, or if you did something out the way, your name is on that list. Then they target you because that's your name, your social, your birthday, your height, your age, your complexion, your eye color. All that is on that list. So then they find out where you are and target you even more. So my question is like, okay, when is this going to, the problem is not, you know, you have teachers that's teaching hate. You have parents that are teaching hate. So hate is being taught to hate Black and brown people, to seek out Black and brown people and excuse the Caucasian people. So when they're in school and they go in detention, I promise you their name don't go on no list. So there comes a point in time where it's going to be time to quit talking. And it's going to be time that we have to integrate ourselves into these positions to where we can make a viable change. Just like those teachers who did not get, you know, the people that are in charge are not reprimanding their people.
Right.
The teachers didn't get in trouble. So if I'm not going to get in trouble, what's going to stop me from doing what I want to do? You know, what they say, a land that have no laws is a land of chaos. So when you only have laws for a certain type of people, which is Black and brown, and no laws for the rest of the people, then that's why you have the chaotic, because then those people that have the laws are going to rise up. It's repeating itself, because those that are being oppressed and depressed is going to rise up, and once they rise up, it's going to be a revolution. It's going to be a war, revolution, protest. But the people that are don't have the laws, they don't care. They're going to hit you with rubber bullets. They're going to put water hose on you. They're going to put dogs on you. They're going to put you in jail. They're going to kill you, put their knee on your neck. They're going to molest, rape, sell, do whatever, because they have no law or no consequences.
Exactly.
So the real problem is, how do we get the authorities to put consequences on these people for doing the wrong thing and what they're supposed to be doing anyway? Those 4 teachers should have been fired without pay, because all this suspending with pay, that ain't giving you nothing but a vacation.
Exactly.
Go suspend me with pay.
Hang out in Hawaii. We got some background noise coming from somebody's line. We got some background noise. Everybody mute your line. If you're not talking, mute your line right now. Mr. Flipper, are you still back? Are you with us, Mr. Flipper? Mr. Flipper might have stepped away for a second. And what's on your heart then, Frank? I'm coming to you next.
So much has been said that I talk about on a daily basis on the show. And I want every parent that's listening to this nationwide and worldwide listen when I tell you, I was one of those parents that constantly try to do my schedule to be there at lunchtime with my kids. There were certain kids that were put on separate tables. I don't care what you do. Children are children. And if you start at a young age making them feel like you do this, so you need to sit away from everybody. You do this. And I would ask them and be something like, I got squirmy. And I've told you guys that, you know, sometimes children are ADHD. So they're going to be squiggly. So what is the problem? You know, why make them sit away from everybody? I've had times where I've came into the cafeteria and found my disabled son sat far away from everybody. I asked, why is he sitting away from everybody? Oh, he just wanted to sit there. Obviously, something happened that they're not going to tell me. So this is why I tell parents, I don't care if you're mom or dad, just show up. Just show up, because it starts at a very young age. And I'm sorry, these teachers, they target. It starts at a very young age, they target. Can you imagine? And this is what I need people to picture. At a young age, since you're in elementary school, oh, you're in trouble, you're sitting at a different table, or you're sitting in timeout, or you're sitting in a table by yourself. And this continues. What do you think is going to happen by the time they get to high school? More than likely, first of all, they're dropping out. Or they're going to be in an alternative program, which they say are so good. And no, they're not. You know, it might work for some, but not everybody. Let's just maybe homeschool them instead of doing all that. Okay. Then by the time that they turn 18, or they're in that alternative program, they're probably doing juvenile system. I don't know what it is here, but at least 21 days, so forth, so on. And that's how they fall into the system. I had somebody tell me one time, who's a Department of correctional officer, and said, do you want to know where all our Latino and Black men are at? I said, where are they at? They're in jail. That's why you don't see that many out here. They're all in jail. And I said, that's just sad, just to see that our own are targeted so much. And then a lot of times, like in the crack cocaine era, they're facing 40 years, and a lot of them are still in there. This is what we got to continue dealing with. We got to continue with lynchings. We got to continue with our children being literally taken from ICE. And it just angers me so much. Babies being raped, babies telling the system, I got raped, attorneys, I got raped, and nothing happens. No police officer who works for ICE is held accountable. Yes, I get angry. No, you got someone a law enforcement officer who jammed their boot over a man's head, George Floyd's head, and no accountability. He just got fired. They said he might get all this money, 25 million. I put a thing, so I'm sure he's going to have stories and everything to write. Are you guys kidding me? Is this really serious? Like, no accountability, just, oh, it's okay, I just did it, and you know what? I might face a few years and then I'll get out. And then that's another thing, there's like an unbalance in the system. If you're white, you get less time than if you do if you're a person of color. That's angering too. And again, like I said, it starts at a young age. Please, parents, make it your business, or send a family member or a friend to go check up on your kids, because I've seen it over and over again. I used to try to talk to the kids, but one person can do but so much, you know, so just keep that in mind.
Good deal. Christy, no. Frank, what's on your heart?
You know, I can't sit here and not talk about the school system, because my wife is an educator.
Mm-hmm. Mine as well. Mm-hmm.
Teachers are unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
It's so unfair what teachers are asked to do. They're asked to feed, monitor, educate. It's just, you know, all of the majority of the supplies on a teacher's salary that are in the school, toilet paper, pencils, paper, and all of that. Now they talk about the lottery is supposed to do schools. That money's not going to the school.
No.
School's same desk that you sat in when you were at that school is still there. You know, you don't have, in the majority of the schools, especially in the inner city, they've dropped music. You barely have sports. All of the things that, you know, these kids really need. And then they have another thing what they've done is they put a dollar amount on each kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's $7,000 or $8,000, and that's the value of that child. So now the principals and the administrators, they won't let you put a kid out because that kid means so much money. They have a thing called count day, to where they have pizza parties and everything else to get all the kids into school so that the school can get X amount of dollars. It's messed up. It's messed up. And these teachers are doing, my wife over the summer is in contact with all of her students, not only talking to them, but getting them food, getting them out of bad situations, trying to get them shelter, getting them into programs because they find themselves pregnant. They're teachers, they're not skilled to do what they're called to do on a daily basis. And then they're human. And then you have some humans, people that mess up, that do stupid stuff. But teachers overall, oh my goodness, what they do and then what they get paid for. And then, okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. If you go to YouTube and you watch what these kids are posting, the fights, my wife on a daily basis puts her life in danger, breaking up fights when she teaches high school, from these grown behind boys. And then you call a house, you call home because you're concerned. I don't know how many times I've called my wife crying because of the fate of some child. But you call home or you try to set up a counseling with a parent. The parent come up there and you realize why this kid is like that. Because they come up there, they want to cuss you out. They want to beat you up. They send relatives up there to attack the teachers. It's challenging at best.
Absolutely.
But it is an environment and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna shut up, Raheem. It's an environment that is not conducive for a child being educated.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about the storm isn't over, and that covers a whole spectrum of things. The storm isn't over. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things going on, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I knew about this situation with the teachers with the news. I did not know that they was reassigned in a different school. I didn't know that. I definitely want to look into that just a little bit because my wife is an educator as well, and I know the amount of work that she put in, endless amount of work that she put in from early in the morning until late at night. Sometimes I have to say, baby, put that down. Let's go to bed because she's working that hard. I know the amount of work that she put in. So there's some great teachers, and I know a lot of her, her friends and stuff like that she deal with and associate with, and a lot of them are great teachers. But there's always a bad apple in the bunch. And in this situation right here, it was 4 bad apples in a bunch. We have to take those apples out because if we don't, the whole barrel is going to be destroyed. The whole barrel is going to be rotten. And it don't take long. It don't take long. Got a couple of callers. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning, it's Andrea.
Andrea!
Hello, Miss Andrea.
How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Miss Andrea.
I'm good. Good morning, everyone. How are y'all?
Hey, doing good, sister. What's on your heart this morning? We're talking about the storm isn't over. In particular, we're talking about there was another killing here in Atlanta Friday night. What's on your heart?
Only thing that I can say is it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until we put our heads together and find a constructive way. But it seems like the only thing that's getting the attention is the violence. You know what I'm saying? Not the actual cause of why they're doing this or why they keep killing us. Nobody really wants to find that out. But it's the violence afterwards. But I can truly say this. Y'all don't get mad at me. But he beat they behind. He beat they behinds and they got mad because they got beat up. So instead of them taking him to jail, they kill him.
I see where you're going with that, but you know, I can't, you know,
What, Raheem? What?
We got another caller.
You
Caller,
should
what's
have
your
called
name?
the rest of your gang.
Wow. Hey, is that too soon? Is that too soon?
Of course.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And look here, and Leonard just said what he said, and then I gotta come to you. Oh my Lord, ain't no telling what I'm about to get right now.
Because I guarantee you how it works, bro. You jump on me, my gang gonna jump on you.
Go back to
Great job, Tucson, at the town hall meeting.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Go ahead, Donald.
What did it say? What was that? I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to 1921, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Wall Street.
Uh-huh.
How in the world, in a country where you have already been oppressed, then you get out on your own and say, we're going to do our own thing. You start doing your own thing and start prospering. And there's planes. How you get a plane legally to just bomb a place? And nobody, did y'all hear about anybody getting arrested around that time?
No.
Exactly.
So what's it going to take to stop the storm? We can't do like Crazy Man. Crazy Man was talking about bombing the storm. No, you know, I'm almost like, well, I'm upset, but it's somebody has really been knocking at my door, and I'm on the phone, and the door is locked because they just come in, and so I lock it so you can't. So they're bamming on it. So I'm finna go handle that. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. And Christy said,
you see what I'm talking about?
Christy said, great job at the town hall meeting on Sunday.
Man, it was good. It was real good. Thank you all for having me, man. I enjoyed that. It was good.
We enjoyed having you, brother.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. Anna, what's on your heart right now?
I just wanted to say to Donald, he might not be on the phone now, but because I think he had to go to the door, but he did great. It took me a second because I'm so used to just hearing his voice, but then I look at the picture, you know, and thought about it. It took me a second. Raheem was like, she really doesn't know. But once I heard him talk, I was like, oh my gosh, it's Donald. And it was just so amazing to see all these great faces that have to do with the morning glow. But continuing back, and I want to say something because Frank is right, and Raheem, you're right. I personally have met your wife, Raheem. There are some outstanding teachers out there, and I'm never once referring to those teachers. I'm talking about the ones that you could see it in their face. And if you're not one of those parents going into the school and checking in on your kids, believe you me. And some parents do get mad. And I try to put up a post on this, that one of the Cuomo brothers, a reporter that's Cuomo brother, and please go on my page and check it out, you guys, if you guys can. One of the Cuomo brothers actually posted that the reason why a lot of parents can't go to the school to check up on their children or have to pay more daycare is because we don't get as much of a salary. As I have mentioned in the past, for Latino women, we are considered a maid. So they're going to pay us maid type salary, no matter how educated we are. Okay. And he went to go talk about some things that do happen within the Black community. And this is why a lot of parents, so yes, they can't go to the school, or yes, they get angry because guess what? Maybe now their light bill won't get paid because now they had to take some time to go out to the school to go take care of whatever it was. And yes, they get upset or whatever, but it's all the stress that falls behind what they're doing. So sometimes we need to go back and I think we need to do something that maybe we've all forgotten. Huh?
Your phone is kind of going in and out just a little bit. Go ahead though.
She sounds great to me.
Something that we've all
go ahead, Anna.
something that we've all forgotten to do is to be that village. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I personally got to meet Leonard's one of his kids, and I won't go into age or whatever.
Probably Graylin. Probably
yes.
Graylin.
And when I did, if I see his baby having a situation, do you not think I'm gonna step in and say, "No, I know his dad. What's up?" And do you not think I'm gonna pick up that phone and say, Leonard, you need to get on your way here. There's a situation. That's where I think the village, we've lost it. We've lost it because we need to continue doing this, because if we don't stick together, let me tell you one thing, the way this is going, it's getting to the point where I've actually been talking to people that they're like, I'm afraid of what's going to happen because people are just going to get militant out there. Just forget it and just shoot. And that's not where we want to go with this. And it's eventually going to go there because people are tired.
It's
you know
already
what it is?
there, Anna.
Yes, I think we are. We are, but I think it's going to get worse. And that's not a good thing. Do you know what it is? That they burnt down that Wendy's? Wendy's had nothing to do with it, but because that situation that took place here in Atlanta, they burnt that Wendy's down. I didn't know that till yesterday. They're looking to give a reward.
I think one of the reasons why, and I'm not trying to justify anything, a destruction of anybody's property. I'm not trying to justify that, but I think one of the reasons why they did it, because it happened at the Wendy's, and Wendy's were the one that actually called the police out, and because of that, people they trying to connect the dots. Well, Wendy's, you had some man was sleeping in your drive-through. Man was asleep. I don't understand. Yeah, he was asleep in the drive-through. Cars had to drive around him to get to the drive-through and stuff like that. The man was tired. Whether the man was drunk or whatever, I don't know. Nobody now nobody knows, because we only got to take one side of the story. The police say that, but he can't say for himself whether maybe he was on medication or whatever. He can't speak for himself right now. The man is dead. And so that, I think that's one of the reasons they're frustrated, and it's about being able to control your frustrations. There's a lot of frustrations going on right now, and that's what they do. And sometimes that's what people do. They act out in that way. Is it right? It's not for me to say yes or no. But at the end of the day, I know that it's the frustration that's coming out. And that's what's channeling all the different things. What do you say to that, Leonard?
Basically, like I said, that's probably was one of the reasons. It's going to happen when you have people out there that are out there to do just that. That's what they do. And that's why there's a reward out for this person, because they know who did it. So people have been doing what they want to do anyway. Let's just not focus on this type of situation. People commit crimes every day. They commit them because they want to commit them. We have a law to take care of that. So if the police want to do some work, go find old girl that set that place on fire. That's your job. Now, whether she was part of the revolution or not, all I know that she wanted to do is she wanted to go there and set a fire. She accomplished that. Now she on the run. Okay, that's what happened. I don't need no special emotion for it.
What people are not understanding. She started the fire.
It's definitely your mic.
And I saw some things.
It's your mic.
Is it really?
Something is going on on your end, because we hear everybody else just fine. Something's coming through your machine.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Let me. Am I choppy? Can you hear me?
You sound great now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but from what I saw, from the footage that I saw, this young lady that started the fire, she's not a part of our community.
And the thing about it, Raheem, is, that's why I said it the way I did. I don't care who she was. I don't care if she had a jersey on. It's against the law to do what she did. Go find her and arrest her. Find her and arrest her. That's police work.
Yeah, do your job.
Instead of harassing people sleeping in cars and all these other types of things. Because everyone in this thing is kind of a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So just as you had everybody standing around watching or what have you, you saw who did it. You saw why I can't take responsibility for what someone else does, nor should you hold me responsible for that. This is what the opposite side of this coin is doing. It's trying to change the narrative.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to talk about brutality. You want to focus on the fire. That fire was burning the moment you killed that man in that parking lot.
Yes, sir.
Every time you show up to show out, expect something to burn up. Okay? We got to instill this attitude in people. I guarantee you, as I have breath in my body, you take my son, I take yours. There is no negotiation.
Let me do this. I'm gonna go to Donald. And Donald, Donald, let me go to Donald. Let me ask you this question. Leonard, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me go to Donald. Let me go to Donald for a second. Donald, and I understand, and like I say, that's a frustration, and Leonard is displaying the frustration that a lot of people feel right now. A lot of people feel that way right now. But my thing is, does that go against the practice that King has been speaking for a long time? Does that go against that practice?
The practice against what now?
Does that go against the practice that Martin Luther King is preaching, the nonviolence? Does that go against that? And what do you think that will lead us?
Let me go this way, because this is just flashed in my head.
Leonard, be careful. Watch him, Leonard. Watch him, Leonard.
Remember when
something wrong with Toussaint's phone.
Christian, that's not loud.
The Lord had to tell the Lord told Joshua, Moses dead.
Thank you.
You go forward.
Boy, I love Toussaint.
Martin Luther dead. Malcolm dead. We got to do something else. Because thank God for both of them. And anybody else, Rosa Parks, all of them. Thank God for them.
Donald said all of them.
Do you think these young folks thinking about them? No, sir. Let me tell you something. Let me just throw this out here. And I want y'all to hear me. I'm going to act up.
Come on, Toussaint. You better tell them the truth. You got to remember,
so I'm
from the hood.
You gonna act up?
I'm from the hood. You shoot my house up, I shoot your house up.
Bing, bing. Let me go to somebody that might have be on a line.
Go
ahead, brother. Go ahead. Go finish it up. You talking about shooting up people. Go ahead, Donald.
I didn't say nothing about shooting up. I didn't say nothing about it.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what? But I tell you what, I used to love to start fires, and I start them in a way that you didn't even know it was burning, but it was in a blaze. But it started off small in an area, then everybody just sitting around chilling, and all of a sudden you hear, oof. So that to say this, that's the things, that's what they did us. When we built the church and the church was prospering, they come with the cross and anything else. And if the church got too much of being a spokesman in the community, you know what they did? Set that sucker afire. You reap what you sow.
As it should be.
Okay, now
I'm sorry.
Frank.
I'm sorry.
Frank,
go to Frank. Go ahead.
Man, what you gonna say to your brothers, man? They talking about setting stuff on pride. They talking about shooting up people's houses, and Frank, bring us. Talk to me, brother.
There was a lot that I didn't want to say today.
I say it for you.
We have to.
He said he'll say it for you.
What you said?
He said he will say it for you.
I appreciate the letter. But
Go ahead.
You know, the thing that, and I'm not, especially right now with all of the tension and everything, people will react to certain things. Yeah. People will react to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love people, man. I love people. But if you spit in my face, in the moment, I don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. And that young lady, she said something earlier. And I truly believe it's true. I truly believe that a big part in the murder was that he did, you know, put a lot of heat on those police officers. And he did take that guy's taser.
Mm-hmm.
And I think pride and the fact that he just took a whooping and heated the battle, I think it got the best of him. I really do think it. And the crazy thing about it is that you never know how people are going to react when they get into situations like that. Now, I'm not trying to justify it, but no, man, we don't. That's why I say right now, Raheem, I'm all over the place, man, because we do need to get a lot of this stuff straightened out. But there's a way we need.
It's fading.
And some people in the broadcast that are from Detroit, but I've worked on the east side of Detroit for like 30 years, ran a Fortune 500 company, and had to deal with some folks, man. And you will be surprised at the situations that they put you in. And in order to survive in that area, you will find yourself doing some crazy stuff. But we need to be careful, man. We got to realize that, you know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up. And this is a very, very horrible analogy, but I'm going to use it. I was pulling in a parking space and didn't see nobody else pulling in. And tried to zip up the parking space, but I'm in a big truck and she couldn't get in. So I backed out, waved her in. She gave me the finger and went to another parking space. And I was like, wow, that's kind of a lot. So I pulled on in the parking space, went to walk in the store, man. This lady ran up on me like a dude. And I mean, just started cussing all in my face and hollering and screaming. And in that moment, I said, you know what? You ain't been hit real hard by a man. You haven't. It's obvious. But you keep this up, it's going to happen. I've never hit a woman in my life, Raheem.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just too much. It was just too much. It was too much. And we have to realize that there's certain things you just can't do to other people and not get the reaction.
So am I hearing you say what's going on right now is pretty much a reaction of all the things that's been happening throughout history? Is all coming to a boil?
I'm not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying in while we are trying to finally, because the attention that we have of people right now is long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
Because what has been happening has been horrible. But now that I have your attention, now don't let me become the very thing that I hate. Let us organize first. Let us figure out exactly what it is that we want. Like Leonard said, one of the biggest things that we need to be doing right now is looking at police officers' files. That's what we need to be doing now. We need to be weeding out these bad cops, and we need to stay focused.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good deal.
But right now, I'm just go ahead.
Okay. Donald said he wanted to say something. Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what I said? Remember when it was said we used to treat them real rough? You know who said it?
Who that?
Y'all remember that said? 45.
Yeah.
Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And like my brother said, you still talking? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'm glad.
It's like brother Bat said. We not gonna make like we don't know what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Everybody keeps saying, I don't understand. No, you understand. You just don't want to admit it to yourself.
Come on.
These are you have to do. I don't know other way to fix a pipe, but to fix the pipe. If it's leaking, you got to change the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep going around and pretending and coming up with all these fancy words, not to say black, not to say white, and all these types of things. You have racism in the police department. I didn't make that up today. It's there. You have to go after racism. That's the way it works. Somebody was talking about the Stone Mountain, and you know that carving in the Stone Mountain, right?
Yeah.
And I think Frank alluded to this effort. He was talking about statues and things like that. And those are just people doing different things on different levels. Okay. And so I told one guy who mentioned that Stone Mountain thing, because he was for getting rid of that, what have you. I said, brother, it's a mountain. How about we just carve losers on the top of it? It's a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
It's in a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
The mountain didn't do nothing wrong.
Let me go to you, boy. You something else, Leonard. Anna, what's on your heart? Andrea, coming to you next.
I actually wanted to mention Andrea real quick. Andrea's daughter and Andrea's family is part of the judicial system problem. They've never gotten justice for their daughter. There's more things on this case that, I'll be interviewing her. We can't go into detail that are going to be coming up. But it's what you call, in those fancy words that Leonard was just talking about, white privilege. And because of who you know and what you know and, what can happen. And the way that Andrea is, she's so still humble about everything that has happened, and it's taking God to take her there. That is the problem. The system is the problem. People who know people in the system is the problem, because this poor baby has never, ever gotten justice. Neither has her family. Can you imagine not being able to close that file successfully, that client file, because Andrea has not been able to get anybody in that state, which was the state of Mississippi, to back up this family. And Andrea, I don't want to go too much and say more than I should, but that's part of the problem right there. This child was ran over getting off her bus, and dragged. I don't want to go all into detail, but the family never got justice. But again, it's white privilege. So just keep that in mind, because it's in it's in every single aspect, because I guarantee you if I ran over somebody, and Lord, please don't let anything like that ever happen. Stop behind those buses, please. If I did anything like that, Leonard or any of us, I guarantee you we'd be sitting in jail for probably a life sentence or 25 years at least. So it's something to think about. Nothing, not even a slap in the hand.
Exactly. Andrea, what's on your heart right now?
I just wanted to kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Anna has said. Yes, the system is the problem. It's not a system for us, and we need to realize that. And oftentimes we put ourselves in the hands of the system. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but sometimes we put ourselves there.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to say that. Also, too, the comment that I made it's just the truth. But two, to see this brother fight not to go down on the ground, no doubt about it. He was in their clutches. He didn't want to go down to the ground, so he fought his way back up. If you kill me, you're not gonna kill me on no ground. You get what I'm saying? He was fighting to stand up, to stay up. So maybe we should take the approach to fight to stand up. Let's stand up for what we need to do. Let's stand up for each other. Let's stand up for what's right. Because they're not going to stop killing us.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to stop running over our kids and not giving them justice. Use just another person that's gone. One more, they took off the number. And that's how they really feel about us. And anybody that thinks differently is naive. And apparently they don't have a television or a Facebook account. Because it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's not done. And they're not done.
The storm isn't over.
That's all I'm going to say.
And also, I would like to add, people take you out of context. Your deeds speak for you.
Absolutely.
You can't sit in my face and tell me who you are not, and I see your paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you have done. This is the thing. It's not about going after people for no reason. It's about your deeds and what you've done. That's what you're going to be held accountable for. Not what Leonard doesn't like or how he feels about something or anything. It's your deeds that you have done.
Mm-hmm.
You deserve to go to the same prison just like you sent everybody else.
Absolutely.
You deserve this notion of qualified immunity has to be looked at that way. And we have to get really serious and targeted about getting rid of racism. A lot of times I tell people, I love the Constitution. The amendments that have been made, it's a great working document. The problem with Constitution is racist white folks. That's the problem with Constitution. I don't even care if you don't like black people. Just understand you can't hold a public job. You can't be in the schools or anything like that. Go start your own business if you want to be that way. I'm not even trying to take your livelihood away from you. I know you're mad because you got your slaves taken, but that was just wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're still crying about that, but you were wrong. In some countries, you wouldn't even be here anymore because they would have annihilated you for flying a freaking flag against your nation in the first place. That is even not allowed in other places. So we have to understand where we failed as a nation. This is everybody's issue.
It kind of make you think. Have your freedom allowed you to be free to be dumb, Christy, what's on your heart?
Too many tears, Raheem. Too many tears. That's what's on my heart.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, even as the conversation goes on with everyone, you know, another one dies and there's no tears. Only tears that's coming are from those that are black and brown. And I mean, you have to look at it, and the way I'm looking at it, this man was sleeping. I mean, I worked in a fast food restaurant. I was a manager before at a fast food restaurant. That was just my walk in life. Several fast food restaurants I worked at. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't have a mind for people, you just gonna do some god awful things. Number one, I'm gonna fault that manager for calling the police because that was nothing to call the police for. All you had to do was walk out there, ask the manager, tap the young man on the shoulder, say, "Sir, I need you to get up because you're disrupting business." Now, if that man would have became violent or all of that, it didn't call the police. But at the end of the day, that was a homeless man or whatever he was sleeping. It wasn't like he was robbing you. It wasn't the fact that he was doing something that was going to cause you harm. He was asleep, and you don't even know what happened. That could have been someone that had that went into a diabetic coma. That could have been laying out there. It could have been somebody who had epilepsy that's having a seizure. It could have been a number of things, but because you didn't walk out there, whenever you have whenever you have Red Cross or anyone that goes into your emergency things that you have to learn when you're a manager. If you see somebody ground, the first thing you do is you touch them to see if they're responsive, if they're alive. If they are responsive or not breathing, you're supposed to commence CPR and call for help. You did none of those steps. You didn't even touch the man to see if he was breathing. You didn't even look at you didn't even check to see if there was an issue. And I'm not just faulting the manager. I'm just saying that there could have been proper ways. And if the police officer were called, they could have followed those same steps. Fighting the man, abusing the man, because he took your taser away, to me is not an answer. But how many of these stories we have to hear? Ahmaud Arbery, he was just running in the neighborhood, shot and killed. I mean, not beat up, shot and killed. I mean, the list go on and on and on about the senseless death. And I remember we were saying that, I think Anna was the one who said that a lot of our Black and brown people are locked away. In order to get rid of a specific race that you hate, the one thing you take away is their ability to procreate life. And if you lock up all the men in jail, their women are forced to procreate with other races, therefore dying out the race that you hate. Mm-hmm. And for all my people that sit here and say, oh, I love white people, they're my friends. I'm like, Leonard, when they kill your child or they kill somebody in your family, how much love are you going to have?
Absolutely.
I look at Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have Nots. Yeah, I know I love that's my show.
Oh,
the have,
I don't actually.
I love it. But if you look at the Criers and you look at the relationship that the maid has with the crier, with the wife, not the man, they created a friendship. But when it came between Crier's son running over the black lady's son, and they covered it up, regardless of the friendship that she had with the maid. And that's what we have to understand. You can be friends, but just know that they're going to choose their friends, their loved ones. They're going to choose their way of life over you. So you have to get into a certain point that just like they have to say, I'm not racist because I have black friends. You that black friend. Mm-hmm. But that don't mean that they're not racist. So we have to, like Miss Anna say, just like that man was fighting to stand up, you not finna get me on the ground and put your knee on my neck. You not finna get me to where hey, you gonna have to kill me. I'm telling y'all now, if you touch my brother, if you touch my children, if you sit here and run into my house and I'm sleeping, I promise you I got something in my pillow. I'm gonna blast you back to that door. Don't play with me or mine. That's the attitude you're gonna have to have.
Preacher. Lord, preacher.
And I muted myself.
Somebody pray for her. She talking about shooting and killing people. Preacher.
Dear Heavenly Father, I pray right now that her aim is straight and not one bullet land on an innocent victim nowhere.
That's why I love the mute button. That's why I love the mute button right there. See, that's the time you use the mute button. That's the time you put the mute button on. No, sir. Hey, Donald, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm sorry, Miss Sher.
Say, Father God, in the name of
Leonard. I'm sorry, 2 songs.
Bless the battle, Father.
Yeah, man.
Give us a victory.
There go the mute button again, y'all. There go the mute button.
Amen.
He ain't gonna stop. Mute her too. The mute button works. It works around here. It works. Go ahead, Donald.
Lord have mercy. Anyway, why is it that, and I posted it, and why is the Klan the only, I don't know if any other thing, is the only organized terrorist group? Because it's from the top above. What I mean is, if I say this, and I'll go ahead and say it, from 45 on down to judges, lawyers,
all of them.
The military, because you find it in there. You get a young man, he decides to go into the Air Force. Marines, and they get to a certain facility, and they harass him because they feel like he shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's been happening over and over again. I mean, you know, here's the government. They decide that they're going to do an experiment on us and inject us with syphilis. They decide, the government.
Yeah.
Your deeds speak for you.
And it's perfectly legal. How you get that? So so now, what is it that we have people that work right along with them and say, like your girl, I don't even want to call her name. She justifies it saying that because they can pay the judge $25,000 to make the ticket or the charge go away. That's a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Bribery is a crime. But because of it's covered by and the organization that they are a part of, the Rifle Association, them too. So I ain't saying nothing else.
I'm saying, look, I'm gonna end right there. I ain't gonna say nothing. I want to Sherry Johnson. Sherry Johnson. She put a lot of comments in the post here. Sherry, the number is 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Sherry, give us a call. We want to hear from you as well. So you putting a lot of comment. Now I can't read all that you're putting in there, Sherry. I can't read all that, but you can call in 678-381-1973. But I definitely appreciate you joining us today, Sherry. Definitely appreciate you. We've seen you here quite a few times, man, and we definitely appreciate the love and support that you give DKM Media Group. Definitely appreciate it. And if you have an opportunity, if you're in a position, give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I was doing something else, but it's amazing to me. You know, it's like, and I know Donald Toussaint will understand. Man, do you know I have lost stripes? I have been in front of the UCMJ. I have been falsely accused of things I have not done. And the only thing that saved me were my prayers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When the devil sought to do me wrong, God stepped in and changed the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the prayers I was praying. Even in front of all those bars and stripes, I still stood on the word of God and my innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I take your deal? I got a better chance going to jail and God loosen the chains and blasting the door open.
Mm-hmm.
But what you should not do, people, don't bow to wrongdoing.
Yeah, come on.
Don't stand next to the unjust. Don't stand with them. This is how these things happen. This is how institutional racism survives. Mm-hmm. Is that because, one, you go in there and get your job and you stand right there and watch them do this. The reason why the judges are getting caught for selling your children. They're getting credits in their accounts for sending and giving hours to your children. When we talk about the children that are somehow missing, that were in these camps,
that has not been set
they've
up
been
yet.
sold. Now, your deeds speak for you. Who's known for selling other human beings?
Come on. Let me do it. And Sherry, I saw you trying to call. I'm calling you right back right now. So free your line. I'm calling you right back in. Okay.
How you gonna get out of this scale, my brothers, my white brothers and sisters? How you gonna tip the scales in your favor?
Mm-hmm.
When you have so many awful deeds. And then now you realizing that now you got to go sit there and you got to look at a black Jesus. How can I lose, Toussaint? How can I lose? By standing in righteousness.
Hello.
Okay, hold on. I think that's Sherry. Sherry, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning, the family, I just been listening to what you all have been saying this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and it has been disturbing. I've been watching it on TV and what happened at the Wendy's in Georgia, and it's on fire again.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Sherry, where you calling from?
I'm just not really waking up. I'm calling from Mount Illinois. I'm in a rural area. Sometimes my phone doesn't pick up. I'm in the country, you all.
Okay,
that's sound. What I wanted to say is I agree with all that's been said so far because I came in kind of late. But I've been reading the opponent's comments on other sites because I want to know what the enemy's thinking.
Yes.
I know what we are thinking and how we're trying to organize and get things together. I've been following the Black Caucus Coalition. They have already got rules and regs set in place. The NAACP president with Al Sharpton, all of them trying to get things together for reform and defunding the police, etc., because we have a long journey ahead of us. Of course, this is not going to be done overnight. 700 years of oppression with police brutality, 400 years of oppression of inequality systematically. But what I got to the point where I said, okay, I know how we feel, but how do they feel? And they have been really trying to organize with the Hells Angels. They want to have another civil war. And so they're bubbling up. I have a neighbor right next door to me that's got a Trump sign up and a Confederate flag sign up. And I know this guy is racist, but he can't, you know, hello?
Yes, go ahead. We hear you.
Okay. I know this guy is racist, and I'm a judge in the polls as well. So I know all the Republicans in my town. And I had to give him his mail the other day, and I knew what he was thinking, and I just had to hold my peace because I know you all white privilege have suppressed us so long, and they're trying to fight for that. These white women are arguing with me because I'm saying it's our time. Embrace the change. You have cloaked this too long, and now we're not going to stop fighting. I said, I'm going to fight for my children. I'm tired of our people dying. They don't see that part. All they see is the help. You know how to win in the help. I always put down hashtag the help because y'all going to eat Miss Minnie's chocolate pie. So they were really upset.
Oh, Lord, my Jesus.
So they're organizing all of the Ku Klux Klan. So while we talking about we don't shoot, we can't shoot. I'm an evangelist, but I got a gun. And I got 20 acres of land I can go out there and shoot on at any given time. I have to be licensed because you do not know. And the violence taken by force, they fought in the Bible. When God said kill all of it, he said the children, the dog, the cat, and whatever else.
Oh, my Lord. Okay, Sherry. Oh, whoa. Sherry, hold on.
Kill it all.
Sherry.
Kill it all.
Sherry.
Don't leave nothing.
I'm going to have to disconnect Sherry because Sherry is not listening to me.
I'm just going to tell y'all, we have to protect
Sherry
ourselves as well.
Sherry, can you hear me?
Protect.
Sherry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on for a second, Sherry, because you on the road. Because you know you was going uphill and you got up a hill and you started coasting downhill, and it was real hard to bring you back in.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay,
I had to agree.
I understand. But hold on. I gotta bring some more people into this thing. Hold on, Sherry. Stay where you at for a second. Stay where you at. Don't you move. Frank,
I was staying right here.
Frank, what's on your heart, brother? So she talking about kill the rat, cat, squirrel, and the dog. God almighty. Hold on, Sherry. Frank, what's on your heart?
Man, it's when you have, I can't even imagine having somebody like that live right next door, and she still had enough love in them when they misdelivered the mail to take that man his mail. And we definitely need to hold her up in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, I know people are rallying, and the people that are, and I have to be careful when I say this, but a lot of the people that are extremists like that are flying the Confederate flags and calling for the Hells Angels and the Ku Klux Klan, they're so lost in hate that they've been looking for a reason. You know, they've been hating their entire lives. They're going to continue to hate. And it's going to take not only us, but it is going to take the white people that have been awakened by what they've seen by these. Will Smith said something that was very, very, very profound. He said racism it's not more racist. It's just being video.
That's it.
Now you're seeing it. It's not like this just happened. All of a sudden now, these killings and everything. No, now it's just being caught on video cameras. So I pray that the people that have seen it and it has brought them to a place of repentance, that we can work together, man, and we can rid the world of the people that have that type of hatred in their heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
I want to make a comment, Raheem. I want to address something. Oh, Lord. I want to address something Christy mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want brothers and sisters to get caught up in the romance. Because, you know, I'm not for the romance with slavery and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need all that to do right. All I need is one.
Yeah.
It don't take 10 to make me upset enough. One.
Mm-hmm.
One case of injustice is too many.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we have to understand, like, one, you all were talking about, my neighbor got his Trump sign, got his Don't Tread on Me flag, his Confederate flag and everything. I've been here about 18 years. I don't mind people being different and having different opinions. I'm not that type of person. Just don't let that affect someone else. You know, that's my thing. I'm not fighting for black people. Understand me?
So basically you tell them not to put their fish in your pond.
Understand? This fight ain't about you loving me at the end of it. It's about you leaving me alone. I don't want your love. I don't want nothing you have. I want you to leave me and my people alone as we go our way.
Okay. Where is my mute button? Where is my mute button?
Well, somebody go get some.
Can I say something, Raheem?
Go get some Bible verses to back up what I said.
Exactly.
So Raheem
We need
be
some
all
Bible
right.
verses right now. We need some Bible verses right now. Christy, what's on your heart?
Christy? Oh, you need a Bible verse? He said, "Go and destroy everything." Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello. Okay, so I just want to say this real quick. If y'all remember The Great Debaters, I love that movie. Have y'all seen Great Debaters?
Oh yeah, Denzel.
Yes.
I've seen it. Yes. You remember the ending when the chubby guy, the little chubby little boy, he gets up and speaks, and he's real nervous, and they're talking about racism and brutality. It was going against a white school. And he was talking about when he was on his way, he was driving and he saw a black man getting lynched. He said, what was his crime that caused him to get lynched in such a manner? And he said it affected him because him and his teammates had to lay flat down in the car and back up. Then he started saying that, you know, he started talking about Malcolm and Martin. And at the end of it, he said, you know, an unjust law is not a law at all. And the way I respond, be it violent or non-violent, is my prerogative. But you should hope that I choose the non-violent one. He said the latter. It's not his exact words. So this is what I'm saying to my people. There's an unrest. Whether we do it violently or unviolently, you do not get to choose how I handle the disrespect or the injustice that you give me. You just better hope and pray that I choose the non-violent route. So those that choose non-violent is not wrong. And those that choose violence is not wrong.
Exactly.
It's understandable.
Okay. Somebody, hold on, Chris. Somebody just turned their speaker on, their thing on speaker, or can't do that. You're gonna get background noise. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry about that.
So ending in what I'm just trying to tell everyone is, look, the way we choose to do this is no right or wrong. Those that are out there protesting, those that are out there burning things, I'm not going to say, in my opinion, I don't think you should burn stuff, but that's my opinion. But the way that we respond to the way that things are being done white America, you cannot choose how we deal with what you're doing. You just better hope and pray that it's nonviolence. If you have a Trump sign on your door and a Confederate flag, you better hope that Jesus in me tells me to stay in my yard and ignore you and not burn it down. Is what I'm saying.
Good.
You better hope that.
Okay, so basically what I'm hearing you say is can't nobody control how you react to the hate they give.
The hate you give, thugs. The hate you give, thugs. The hate you give, thugs.
Okay, Christy, we heard you the first time. Yeah, second time.
I'm just saying, don't get mad. Don't get mad at our thug mentality, because once you keep on giving the hate.
We had a conversation talking about thugs. Now we know you know what we say the thugs is now. It's a little different now. We talk about that thug thing. We educated everybody on thug, and now you're still saying thug. Lord, my Jesus. And Anna, what's on your heart?
Can I say something?
I can write back to you, Andre. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Anna.
Sherry, this is Anna, and I'm glad you called in. Sherry really supports a DKM Media Group, and she also follows me. And thank you for your support at all times. I really appreciate you calling in. And she's very voiced out. I mean, every time, even on my posts, she says it how it is. So thank you for that. And going back to what Christy said, I used to also manage fast food restaurant at one point at a younger age. And I'll tell you something, there's methods that you could take.
Were you 24? Were you 24 then?
I was 18. I'm only 29 now. Y'all see, right?
That's what I mean.
So with that being said, this guy could have had, and Christy went into some of it, epilepsy, sleep apnea. Sleep apnea makes you pass out. Narcolepsy, a diabetic attack. Even if he was drunk. Okay, let's say he was drunk. Okay, and when you have epilepsy, and I can speak for epilepsy because I am an epileptic, diagnosed with epilepsy, and I'll tell you guys what, sometimes I wake up after an attack, I don't know what's happened. And if you have people surrounding you, you don't know what's going on. And let's say that he was drunk. Okay, let's say he was drunk. Why couldn't you shoot him on his big toe? If you had to shoot, why couldn't you shoot on the big toe? Why did we have to shoot this man on his back? We all know the effects of shooting somebody in the back. It can cause paralysis, death, so forth, so on. So my point is, why shoot to kill? And why can't we change this? And I'm waiting on the autopsy report, whether he was drunk or not. Like I say, he was passed out. Probably, and more than likely, that manager was terrified when they called the police, or they were somebody with no patience. And I said this in our private group chat. That person is probably having nightmares to this very second because of them. And I hope that you're listening. Because of you, somebody's dead. Sometimes we can't be so quick and rash to make a decision to turn around and just call 911. People, let me tell you one thing about Latinos. We don't call the police. We don't call the police because it causes problems. We do not call the police. And that's pretty bad when the relationship has gotten to that. Especially, and I was so glad that they mentioned that yesterday at the meeting, especially with all this immigration stuff. You really think they're going to call the police? They're going to fist that out and then they're going to figure it out later, you know? And sadly, that's the relationship the police has caused with the Hispanic community. Go ahead.
Anna says, shoot him in the pinky toe. You shot the man in the pinky toe.
Big toe.
Well, still.
She went to Harlem Nights. She saw Harlem Nights last night.
I'm just saying, shoot him in his thumb. Shoot him somewhere.
Hit it quick. Hit it quick. Go ahead, shoot it quick. Hit it quick.
All right, I know she didn't. Hey, Tucson. I know she didn't think I was just gonna let that pass by without me saying.
I knew one of y'all was gonna say something.
Shoot the man in the pinky toe, Donald.
Hey, you know about I don't know if that's the same show. The guy was shooting, And they had some AK.
Oh yeah, that same movie.
47.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had the little 22. He was.
See now you got Leonard over there putting his hand over his mouth, or you know he laughing at that.
Let me say this. Let me say this though, man. Isn't that the time to look? It's not the time to sell wolf tickets.
Yeah.
Let that be clear. Let that be clear, because just like it's been said, they're getting ready.
Yep.
They're preparing themselves for whatever you're talking about.
Yep.
And they have certain people in their organization that are in position to make it legal. Or to write it off altogether.
Yep.
And it's not the time to sell wolf tickets.
Exactly. And one of the things that that somebody said, I can't remember exactly who said it, was when I think it was you, Donna, that said it about when they gave syphilis. And to this day, now the person has been charged for that. When they dropped, when Black Wall Street dropped the bombs on American soils to destroy that community, not one person has been incarcerated,
and nobody got a dime.
No.
Nobody got a nickel.
No. And normally situations like this, see, what people don't realize, when you're destroying, Wendy's was destroyed over the weekend because of that situation. Now Wendy's gonna go to their insurance company, and the insurance company is going to endorse them a check. They're gonna go back and they're gonna redo it and have some extra money they put in their pocket and stuff like that. So we don't want to reward people. Let our actions reward people on the other side of the coin. Because Frank, yeah, exactly. Frank could attest to this. He said he was in a Fortune 500 company. If you have a situation like that, Frank, now you go to your insurance company, what's gonna happen? Frank, wake up and go. Frank, are you still with us? Oh, we lost Frank. We lost Frank. Okay. But Leonard, you know about that thing, man. You was in the arena as well. What's gonna happen, man, when they go to the insurance company? When they call the insurance company this morning, the business was burned down over the weekend. They called the insurance. The first call, one of the first calls they made this morning was to the insurance company. And what's gonna happen? Okay, can't hear you, Leonard. Hold on.
Hopefully they will rebuild at Wendy's or what have you, but we have to understand that that's property. The biggest concern was what damage could have been done had it spread.
Yes, sir.
You know, this thing. So I'm never about chaos. I'm never about it at all. I don't support it at all, because I just don't believe things get taken care of that way, and that there's long-term issues associated with it. But and that's for people to understand. We have to operate in a just society, and we have to do all the work we can. Right now, back to what Christy said about the agenda for Black people and all that and stuff, that's minor right now because of all the gains. Now we have to be just. We have to be accountable. We have to be in these positions of authority that make these decisions. It's not that, like, people will say all the time, I don't get into the black-white game like other people, you know? It's about being kind to one another, being respectful for one another, regardless of your color. Shout out to one of my white brothers, Larry, who we grew up with him. And he's going through this right now with us. And he's talking about how much he has learned as a white man who loved us, to see what we have had to go through, for it to be in his face and him finally to just think about it. And he says, man, it's horrible. So when people talk about I'm so sick of people saying the same stuff over and over and over and over and over. You know, I mean, that's why I don't listen to a lot of people. Automatically assume I sit up and watch this stuff. I don't watch TV like you watch TV.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Andrea says she have a question. Hold on, Andrea.
Jerry got a question.
And Andrea. Oh, Sherry. Oh, Sherry. Okay, Sherry. Hold on, Sherry.
No, it was Andrea. It was
Okay.
Andrea.
Well, one of y'all
Oh,
got a question.
Andrea
One,
too.
and both of y'all hold on for a second.
Okay.
All right. I want to do this right here, cause Leonard, and this is for you. This for you, Leonard. Leonard, I want you listening to me. You listening to me, Leonard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is for your friend Larry. Float on, cancer. And my name is Larry. Float on.
You know what,
float.
Raheem?
Where's my mute button? Where's the mute button?
Okay.
Where's the mute button?
Somebody said they
Where
had a
is the mute button?
Is that how, I'm gonna ask a woman? Is that what a turn off feels like? Okay. Because I was kind of it did something to my spirit when he.
Float on.
Now I gotta go burn some sage to get my mind right.
Cancer. And my name is Larry. I like a woman that
you say your name is Larry and you got cancer. Huh?
No, that my name is Larry. Float on. I like a woman that loves everything and loves everybody.
I love them dudes, man. I be watching them. They so smooth.
Yeah. That man, look at that's back in the day. That's real. That's real.
Can I have my mute button? Can I have a mute button?
Float on. Have you
Float on.
And if Christy join in, I'm gonna need medication.
Oh, look, hey, Chris, come on, Chris. Let's show him how to do this thing.
Don't buy into that foolishness.
Come on, Chris. Cancer. And my name is Larry. I love a woman that loves everything and loves everybody. Come on, Christy. Because I love everybody.
Man, and when you look at their faces, they be so serious. So serious.
Hey, how you do? They do it like this. Let me stop. Hold on. Character. My name is.
There you go. They right there, Raheem. They be so serious.
Larry. Yeah, I love a woman who loves everything and everybody because I love everybody and everything. Who had a question? Somebody had a question. Who had a question?
Christy ready. Check her out. She ready?
I couldn't stop laughing.
Who got a comment? Hold on. Who got a comment?
Andrea,
what's your comment?
Why you don't ever say my name? No, why you don't ever say my name, Raheem?
Now who that? The Andrea?
I'm just saying, Raheem. I done said this like 3 times. Like I gotta come in if I gotta go to work. I'm supposed to be on the phone. I'm out here trying to say one thing.
Let me hear you say one thing. Cancer.
Okay, one thing.
And my name is Larry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Listen. All jokes aside, though, I just want to say that I understand that God said have war, but things kind of changed a little bit when Jesus came on the scene. He kind of changed how we deal with oppression and suffering. So let's not forget that when he came on the scene, he said it used to be eye for eye, but now I said love. So I said all that to say this. So I was working in a place, and the woman who ran over my daughter took a job working in walking distance of me. A lot of people don't even know that. There was many days that I sit rocking in that chair, and I wanted to go down there, and I wanted to do some things. She's in walking distance, and I have never went over there. I have never sent anybody over there because the Spirit of God constrains me. We need the Spirit, y'all. We need the Spirit to constrain us and to lead us and to talk to us and regulate us. That's the only thing I had to say, Raheem. Now you can go back saying about cancer.
My name is Andrea, I just want to say, baby, I appreciate what God has done for you in your life. I appreciate the anointing that's on your life because I know that was nothing but the blood of Jesus that's kept you from walking across that street. Wow. And I pray, and you can't say what you do in a situation, but I pray that the Lord will kind of hold me down because it look, that street to be on fire with my tracks. So he was gonna have to quick. So I appreciate you and why he trying to say about cancer, Lord.
Amen. Hallelujah. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Okay. Leonard, bring me back home, brother. Bring me back in.
I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I love y'all.
Hey, love you
Have
too,
a
sister.
good one. Have a good one.
Hey, listen.
I
we're gonna
love
do
you.
We-
You love me. We a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Somebody called Dorney up.
Wow.
Ooh, wee.
Wow.
Man black.
Why would you do that?
Oh,
I have headphones on.
and desire.
I told you.
Leonard, I'm waiting on you. Sing, Leonard.
You gotta wait for that. You have to wait for the album, Anna.
Yeah, that exactly. Come on now. Do. Have you seen her?
No, and
Have you seen her?
Next. Now, oh my goodness.
Have you seen her?
Have you
I'm
seen?
about to go back to bed.
I'm right here.
Have you seen her?
I'm right here.
Wow.
Killing you killing it, Raheem.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh,
Put your weight on
Tell
it.
me, have you seen me? Have you seen me? Have you seen me?
Sing it,
Have you
Chris.
seen me?
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, yo, we gotta get out.
Before we go, I
Yeah.
want to say something.
Huh?
This is why everybody should tune in to dkmradio.com, DKM 1.1 on Facebook, and you can share the link with other people because you never know what you're going to expect. You might get Leonard singing, you might get Christy singing. Anna doesn't sing, so you're not going to get me. I might do some poetry here and there. You might get Raheem singing. Telling people, have you seen her? So you never know what to expect. Leonard says, according to him, to wait for the album. I don't believe that, but we'll see. And this is why y'all should tune in, and you will have a good time.
Hey,
We're good
Donald.
people.
Hey, Donald Tucson. Donald Tucson.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Donald. Hey, man. How did that 5 Heartbeat song, Donald? How that song go?
Oh, I love that movie.
Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up, stand up.
If you're gonna sing it. If you're gonna sing it. Don't play with it now. We don't play on here. If you're gonna sing it, bring it. Go ahead, Christian, sing it.
This is like karaoke without the liquor.
Oh, wait.
Bad karaoke, drunk karaoke night.
Go ahead, Christian. Go ahead, Christian, sing it. Hey, Tucson.
Wait. Let me get myself together.
Get it together.
Y'all gonna be nothing without me. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up, stand up.
Let me know that you understand.
Y'all off the
Is there a
chain.
heart?
You gotta do it
Is
like
there
that.
a heart in the house tonight? Stand up.
Christy, stop moving. Stop moving. It's doing
I'm
too
doing
much
the
to
dance.
me.
Cool, get old that dog.
And stop for you trigger Anna's epilepsy. Stop.
Tonight.
I can't with you.
Eddie Kane. Eddie Kane. I'm Eddie Kane. I'm Eddie Kane.
Hold on. Somebody hitting the high note. Who hit that high note?
No one. Somebody turn that down. We're getting some feedback.
You know when you used to put that pin in that teacher seat?
Yes, sir. How she do, Donald? How she do it, Donald? Lord.
Candy coated raindrops.
Okay. We created.
Obviously, that's an original. Anyway,
we created a monster. Lord, my Jesus. Listen, Anna, what's going on at 3:00 today? We got to get out of here.
At 3:00, if you missed this incredible show that was very educational at the beginning, but At the end, you had a lot of singing, including to the second.
Understand?
Please tune in
And then
at www.dkmradio.com and you listen to the show in its entirety.
let's take them to the media. Let's take them to DKM Media Group. And
DKM or Media. You can tune in to www.dkmmediagroupandassociates.com. And it's HTTPS, right?
Yes, you just do www. It'll get them there. Yeah, we're gonna take them all with there and take them to the front door. Is there a heart? Go ahead, Chris.
Oh my Lord!
Is there a heart in the house tonight?
Come on, Donna.
Stand up.
There it is.
Stand up.
I'm gonna watch the 5 heartbeats today, and then I'm gonna forget y'all were singing.
Hey, Anna, can I get you to? I need you to represent right now, Anna. I need you to represent. I need you to do this for me now. We're ready to get out of here. It's 9:15. We're about to exit the Morning Glow. I need you to do this for me.
Yeah,
you ready? You Anna, you ready?
Me.
Yes.
Yes.
Give us some La Vida Loca.
I'd have to get up and dance. You know I'm Latina. We'd have to get up and dance and everything. I don't know that song.
Give us just a little bit. Give us what you know. Come on,
you guys. And I want to say something to my Latino community, especially my Puerto Ricans. I love you guys dearly, but I should have known that once I saw that video. He didn't like women. I mean, come on.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of us got fooled. Such a handsome fella.
Lord, on that note, we got to get out. On that note,
keeping it real.
Come to Jesus. Come to Jesus.
Just now.
Y'all need to back here cracking up, looking at my phone like y'all crazy.
Just now. Only trust him. Just now.
Trust him. Just trust him.
Hold on. Listen
to Jesus.
Chris, watch it. Listen to Dawn. Go ahead, Donna.
Blessed be the ties that bind our heart.
And Christian love.
It's done. I never did know the whole song. Love, the fellowship.
Toya here. Toya can sing.
That's the one Granny used to play on the piano right there.
Here, it is my favorite one. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet.
Almost.
When God gets through with me, when God gets through with me, I shall come forth. I shall come forth as pure gold. If you shall see me, and I'm not walking right.
Okay. We
Please
lost.
remember.
Y'all own something?
God is not.
We've lost. We've lost it.
Seriously, you guys should see your niece over here. Your niece, her faces are just like, seriously, you guys, seriously.
I let them go every now and then. You just gotta let them go ahead on. Just let them do what they do. But look here, we have totally lost it. We've totally lost. We got 5 people singing.
Pat them mules down now. Time down.
Leonard, we done totally lost. Look, like I said, every now and then we gotta Leonard. Sometimes you just gotta let them go. Let them go ahead and get it on out the system. But Leonard, right now we have officially lost it, brother. We have officially lost it. Listen, it is now 9:18. My wife just called me too, so I know I got to check see what my baby want. My baby called me, and she'll never call me on this time.
Heard you singing.
Probably heard singing.
Here goes my baby.
Hey, what you say? She said, "Now you know that singing is just for me, baby. You can't spread it out." Bro, that's me. I said, "Oh, baby, I let a little bit out tonight, but I ain't gonna do it."
It's very intimate.
Listen, it is 9:19. 9:19 is we're about to exit the morning. Before we go, I want you to do 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you. Ain't nothing you could do about it. I want you all to have a great day and a better tomorrow. And if we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow, take this light up there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Leonard, anything before we get out of here, brother? Anything you want to say though?
Just I want to remind people one of the takeaways. But we got to go back to these runoffs in August. Gwinnett County, go back to the polls and make sure you vote for Miss Patsy Gatson.
Exactly.
Don't. All this work will be for nothing if y'all don't go to the polls.
Absolutely.
Go now to Secretary of State's, wherever city and wherever state you're in. Make sure your voter information is correct so that you know where to vote. Yeah, if you got kids who are just turning 18 and are not registered to vote, make sure they get registered as well. Anybody here in the state of Georgia, if you have criminal background, if you have paid all your debts and you are no longer under any type of probation or anything, you can register to vote in the state of Georgia. So make sure you do that. The real power is in the vote.
Absolutely.
It is the way we get people in positions who have our best interests at heart. And once we get those people who dedicate their life to these professions, we need to support them. We need to support the good sheriffs. Trust me, they're getting pushback from within their organizations. Even police chiefs that are trying to do the right thing are getting pushback in their organizations. So righteousness has to go in and shine the light on the evil. And we have to get them out, and we can't be polite about it.
And if y'all go vote,
direct.
I'll come and do a concert if they win.
Don't do that. Now I'm trying to get them to vote, Christy. You just sit there. Now I might not go. Now come on.
Listen,
me and Raheem gonna come and do a concert together. If Miss Patsy win, we're gonna come and do a whole concert, just me and Raheem. And Sheriff Clemens. We're gonna come and do a good old concert for you guys.
Be a part of the movement, man. Be a part of the movement. Be a part of the movement some way, somehow. Be a part of the movement.
And I'm gonna tell you something. We're going to get out of here, but I'm gonna say this before we go, and I want y'all to listen to me. If you do not go and vote, if y'all don't go and vote, Anna gonna shoot you in your pinky toe. Listen, y'all have a great day.
Anna wear bifocals. She can't hit a pinky toe.
Anna blind.
I love y'all.
Have a blessed day.
Bye.
Hashtag